This flag you are looking at, I believe you understood what our story is about this time. Libya, the country that has just gone through what is known internationally as the Arab Spring, the consequences of each are still fresh. Consequences that have caused great suffering to the Libyan people and still continue. We will show only some of the reasons why the war over Libya happened and the fall of its leader Muammar Gaddafi, an angel for his people but a devil for the whole world. Why Gaddafi was a leader that his people loved, but the whole world did not. Muammar Gaddafi, the leader of Libya, has been in power for a long period of 42 years, from 1969 until his death in 2011. Gaddafi has managed to create an autocratic and authoritarian regime in Libya, maintaining great control on politics, economy and society. Muammar Gaddafi, good for his people but bad for the world. His ego and dream to be one day the greatest leader of Africa and also of the Muslims would cost him the end, not only politically but he would pay with his life. His hostile words against the United States of America but also its supporters would add to and make a hole for himself. We especially remember his speech at the United Nations Summit where he interrupted your words and did not receive any support that he intended, at least from the African and Muslim nations, but no one was ready to go after him as it would be fatal for whoever he was. He spoke openly about his big dreams that even today no one dares to dream or talk about them or follow such policies that contradict the great global geopolitical interests and disrupt all the balances of the world. He wanted to unite all the countries of Africa and the Middle East of the Muslims in a single state, in a single economy, in a single currency, in a single army, etc. So create the United Islamic State or the United State of Africa. A country whose population alone would exceed 400 million inhabitants. This stirred up a lot of water, not only for those who did not want a large leading state in Africa and beyond, but also for the neighbors whose cooperation was not interested in questioning their comfort and luxury at the head of the state. They further directed their relations with the United States. This brought his end and elimination not only from power but also physically, in what is known as the Arab Spring. Why was Gaddafi good for his people and what were the benefits of the Libyan people during the period of his 42-year leadership? The Libyan people could call it the golden time under Gaddafi's government. No other people or country. 1. There was no electricity bill in Libya, energy was free for all its citizens. 2. There was no interest on loans. Banks in Libya were owned by the state and the loans given were loans. Data for all its citizens had 0% interest according to the law. 3. Home was considered a human right in Libya. Gaddafi vowed that his parents will not have a home until everyone in Libya does not have one. Father Gaddafi died while he, his wife and his mother were living in a tent. For all newborns in Libya received 60,000 doina, $50,000, from the government to buy their first apartment and start a family. 5. Education and training. Medical care was free in Libya. Before Gaddafi, only 25% of Lebanese were educated. Today this figure is 83%. 6. If the Libyans wanted to engage in agriculture, they would receive agricultural land, a house, equipment, seeds and cattle to start, all of this for free. 7. If the Libyans did not find the necessary education or services they had need in Libya, the government financed those who went abroad, not only for free, but receiving $2,300 a month and a car with compensation. 8. In Libya, if a Libyan bought a car, the government subsidized it with 50% of the price. 9. Cost of living in Libya, it was $0.14 per liter. 10. Libya had no foreign debt and the state reserves reached $150 billion, which are now frozen at the global level. 11. If a Libyan was unable to find a job after graduation, the state would pay the average salary of the profession like an employee. 12. A part of the oil sold was credited to the bank, in the dowry of all Libyans. 13. A mother who gave birth to a child received $5,000. 14. Bread in Libya cost $0.15. 15 to 25% of Libyans have a university degree. 16. Gaddafi wanted to realize the largest project in the history of water supply, to supply and irrigate the entire country characterized by desert. No nation has these good things even today, but the dream took its life and left its people in misery.